Sheriff Woody at your service.
Of talent in their respective areas that comes together to make something feel quite varied and polished.
Do we have the same level of freedom than in the classic playset?
So in the classic trilogy playset, in the Rise Against the Empire, like Luke Skywalker uses the same force combat stuff here. Like Han Solo and Chewie and Leia all have melee attacks, and that uses the same thing as well. Obviously, they can shoot too. So, with the characters here in this playset, the shoulder button is dash, which is kind of like their version of the ranged attack. But in there, obviously, they use that to shoot. So there are slight differences, but it all uses the same stuff.
I mean, in the different hubs, Liberty from go to, I don't know, Geonosis to Coruscant.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so with our 4 planets, you can take off into space, you can explore space, do combat in space, you can like land on spherical moons, you can, you have that freedom. So this is where I'm saying, because this is like linear, but when you go to those other areas, you can come back here and do side missions here, and that's fine. You can go to the next planet. They're all side missions on all of these, so there's plenty of varied content. There's challenges, so we have like combat challenges and racing challenges, so it's not just all about combat.
We have the Bontai, the pod race from the Phantom Menace.
Yes, so we have the pod race, and once you've completed that pod race, you can go back and do more pod races afterwards. So there's another thing actually that we're trying to do with this as well, like from a collection standpoint. We have, you might have seen in the toy box stuff, you have the blockheads, the little guys. So we're actually using the blockheads for us as this thing called the youngling system, where after you, when you get to a planet, you find those blockheads, and you can recruit them as younglings for your Jedi Temple. So that when you go to the Jedi Temple and you've recruited one, then they're there walking around in your Jedi Temple, and they look cute. So you'll do a little mission for them. It might be, one of them might be that he's stuck up the top of the Jedi Temple and he needs help getting down. So you help him and he'll say, cool, I'll see you back at the Jedi Temple. So you go back there, and in the temple, we have this thing called the training arena, which is like a holographic training zone, where we use that as an opportunity to actually give you some of the kind of real kick-ass waves in the game, where we mix up the enemies because it's a training arena. And those younglings will be with you in the arena as well. So if you've collected all 10 younglings and you go into that arena, then you can fight against mixed up waves of bad guys with these 10 little guys all jumping around with their own little lightsabers. And it's really cool because it means that you know, it's a good test of the combat. So even after you've done all of the content, of which there's a ton, you can still go back and you can still hone your lightsaber skills and take on increasingly difficult bunches of bad guys. You can replay the boss fights in the...
Can you change